Okay, so the only thing left to do really is just to polish it up a little bit. So if I have a look at the up and down motion of the hips here, I've just got a little bit of an overshoot, and I'm just going to make sure that all of that flows correctly, so that when this is on cycle, select all of that and go into controller, out of range types, and we'll just see how that works. This one here is a little bit too much. That flows through a little bit nicer. And anything like this, we can make adjustments so that it's working a bit better than what it is at the moment. So with this one, if I just go into the front, so I wanted it to come sideways like this, and then as it comes over this way, I wanted it to be on the other side of that. So it could be, what's this value here? Let's see, what do we want? We wanted it to, yeah, maybe we could get rid of that one, get rid of that one, get rid of that, and then just see how that works. Or the other way to do it would be to put this in at a value. Let's just say that this one here is -2. This one here could be at 2. And then we'll split the difference. Do something like that. We'll do a test. We might want to offset that. But let's just see how that works. Yeah, that feels a little off. So what we could do is put that into cycle. So go into controllers, and then out of range types, we'll just make both of those cycle through like that, and we can shift that around so that as that foot there, you can see what that looks like if we offset it this way. Okay, that might be a bit too much. Let's just put that at 1 and this other one at -1, and we'll just quickly clean that up. Okay, and other things like we'll just have a look and see how the side-to-side motion of the chest work. So you can see here that this is looking a little irregular, and so maybe this one here, we don't need that, and if we just delete that, just simplify that, we'll see if that works for us. So if this value here is, we'll just make that say 7, and this one here would make that one say -7. And do the same for this one, so it's the same as the first frame. Okay, or what we could do is maybe that's too much, and we'll just scale that down. So we can go into transform tools and then scale. Now I just need to see where the pivot is. Oh, I didn't do it. Let's just try that again. Edit, transform tools, scale values, there we go. So with that selected, then I could just reduce the amount of rotation side to side. Yeah, it's probably could do with a little bit more, so we can increase that. It's looking good. Just hit M to exit out of that mode there. And what we could try is offsetting the side-to-side motion there. So let's go ahead and put this into controller out of range types, we'll put this in cycle, and we can just adjust. We'll just move this sideways depending on where we think it should, where it looks good. And in fact it might look better the other way. Let's just move it all the way over this side here like that. Yeah, that actually does work a lot better. Now for some reason this is not cycling through again, which is interesting. I would have thought that would, not to worry. If it's not going to work, what I can do is just save a keyframe. So we'll just do an explicit, and then I'll drag that to the last frame, just say rotation. What I'll need to do though is I'll need to take that out of cycle, and I'll just make that constant. There we go. Let's just have a look at that. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. And other things that we could do is maybe just put a little bit of tilt on the head from side to side. So as our character is running like this, and as he comes over this side, maybe like that, just a little bit. And I'll copy and paste that one to the first frame, and then that is rotation Z. And so then what I might want to do is just reduce the amount of keyframes so that it is a lot smoother. It's looking good. And let's have a look at our character from the side here. Let's just step through. So this one here, it's bending a little bit, and I think what we might need to have happen is we'll just give it a little bit more weight up and down. So I'm just going to, what we could do is maybe just take these keys here and elevate them just a little bit higher. But what might also be interesting is if I snap this and bend that up. It actually feels like we could probably elevate all of these up just a little bit, and we'll see what that does. And the other thing is we could just extend this leg. We don't want it to be touching the ground at this point though. That's the only thing. So what might be better is if I elevate the body translation of this character here. I'll just bring that up a little bit. We'll see if that breaks it. Yeah, you can see I have just need to correct some of these, and on this frame here just have that nice and straight just before it's about to touch the ground. And even at this point here I could maybe go into frame 9 and frame 3 and just do another little key in that area. Okay, and if we do the same thing with the back foot, as that one is on its way up, you can see that that looks like it's a little broken. So at frame 2, what I'm going to do is I'll just get rid of that toe roll, and I'll save another keyframe, but this time round, rather than the foot roll being influenced by these custom attributes. I'm just going to do that with the rotation of that disc, the foot disc at the base there, and just pose that so it just kind of kicks up. You can see that I've broken the nice line of action. So yeah, the line of action there on the first frame. I'll just go back in and I'll make sure that I save that. And then just as the foot lifts up on frame 7 here, do the same thing. And I'll just bring that up. Get that nice line of action going all the way through the spine. Maybe extend that out as far as I can, so it really shows some strength, some power. Could do the same thing with this one. Really just exaggerate that pose. Just go back into that one, do the same, nice and exaggerated. Yeah, it's looking good. Okay, and the next thing that we'll do is we might go in there and we'll have a look at the arms and also the back, the forward and back motion in the spine.